It is major time again. Australian Open 2021 major season is back. I love it. I think this is my favorite tournament of the year because it's always just the start of the year. It's fresh. So we've got all the players quarantined. They're all quarantined up. We had a little COVID scare. We're past that. Craig Tilley says we're moving on. Australian Open is happening. The draw is out, and I'm about to break it down because there's a lot of danger in it. I think it's a picture of the future of tennis in this draw. So we're going to get into who's most likely to get through to the semifinals, toughest first round matchups, who really is a contender to win this thing. We're going to get into all this in this episode of The Slice.
I go fair.
Have you been watching The Slice?
We're coming at you from the Delray Beach Open, Miami Open, down here at the grounds of
This is Novak and Dominic Bianchi.
We are here with the man, Milos Raonic.
Welcome to The Slice.
So that's our new intro, but we want to get you guys involved in it. So if you'd like to be in the intro, you can send a little video just like this, horizontal, saying, welcome to The Slice, and where you're from, and just saying we're allowed to use the video to Beckett at The Slice Tennis, and we will get it all in there. Can't wait. We don't have as many people in there, so do that, and you'll be in. Amazing. Well, thanks for being here, folks. This is the Australian Open coverage from The Slice, brought to you by Top Court. If you haven't heard of Top Court right now, you're living under a rock, but check the link below for a preview of it and for a free 14-day trial, courtesy of The Slice. If you want to use Top Court, use that link. It supports The Slice, and it's an amazing thing to have in your pocket. If you're a tennis fan or a tennis player, it comes out to like $15 a month. It's honestly a no-brainer if you ask me. Check that out. Well, we finally did it, folks. We passed 10,000 subscribers, which is absolutely crazy. I started this just to want to give the best tennis news I possibly could, and it's turned into, I've done it for longer than I thought I maybe would have, and it's been way more awesome. So thank you guys for supporting so much. For 10K, we're doing a giveaway, as I said we would. So we're doing 5 giveaways. So we got 2 pairs of strings. We got the Vocal Power Fiber 2 and the V-Twist, and we're going to give away a mug, one of the Bagel Time mugs, and 2 t-shirts. So we're going to give away these 5 things to the first 5 people who can write in the comments when the first video of The Slice was ever put out and what your favorite video that we've ever done is. Kind of like a cool moment, why you thought it was your favorite, and just like something about it in the comment section below, and then we'll get in contact with you and ship those out. And we might do even more giveaways in the near future. So if you don't get in on this one, don't worry. But seriously, guys, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for subscribing, liking, sending us stuff. The Front Row family, the biggest shout out to you guys. We're doing lots more with you coming up soon. It's going to be fun. Get on the front row. But seriously, the fans are amazing. This is tennis news for the fans, by the fans. And I will continue to keep working hard to bring you guys as close to the action as possible, get into tournaments, get in interviews, stuff like that. So much love, appreciated. Big time from you guys. Legendary fans. Stay tuned at the end of the video too for a look at the new Adidas Ubersonics and a deal that you can get on them. Stay tuned to the very end of the video. Now, the draw, like I said, I think is a picture of the kind of the future of tennis. I think a lot, we obviously got Djokovic and Nadal here, who are the 2 members of the big 3 who've been dominating forever. So they're obviously just stallions coming up to this tournament, and they're going to be dangerous. But I think and it's been like this for a while, I think the next gen guys are super dangerous, and they're not just like, oh, wow, that could be a tough match. I think it's like, wow, they could win this tournament. So we already know that Thiem can win a slam because he's done it. He's been to the final of this tournament last year. Played brutal in his first match at the ATP Cup, but we've seen that before, and he always turns it around. So we're going to get into the draw here. We're going to look at the potential route for the big 4, who is Djokovic, Nadal, Thiem, and Medvedev. And then we're going to look at who could actually win this, the dark horses, and the best matches of the first round. But guys, thank you for being here. I'm so excited for the Australian Open. I can't believe it. Serbia just lost in the ATP Cup. Germany's going through. Did not expect that. It came down to the doubles. You always got to think about the doubles. But there will be no doubles in the men's singles draw of the Australian Open. So we're looking at it here. I've got the draw, printer paper. We're getting serious. So we're going to take a look at Novak Djokovic's draw because he's the number 1 player in the world. He's the number 1 rank in this tournament. But he doesn't have that easy of a draw. For kind of a change. I don't know. A lot of his last few ones have been pretty smooth sailing. But Novak Djokovic, first round, Jeremy Chardy, shouldn't be a problem. Next round would be Francis Tiafoe. I'm sure you don't love to see that Francis Tiafoe. He's been up and down. He's one of the best young players on tour, though. And then Djokovic in the 3rd round could play either Fritz or Opelka. Now, obviously, the courts are playing fast this year at the Australian Open. Riley Opelka, nobody wants to play him. It's just too much danger. Taylor Fritz is also good, but Djokovic should be able to obviously handle both those guys. Gets interesting here in the fourth round because he has a very good chance of playing either Stanislas the Manislas Wawrinka, his major kryptonite, or Milos Raonic. Those are both also potent opponents for Djokovic. I mean, Djokovic has never had a problem with Raonic. I talked to Raonic about this last year in person. Said, like, what makes Djokovic so good at breaking your serve? Interview connected here. Check it out if you want. And then Wawrinka has beaten Djokovic 3 times at majors, twice in finals. He's like his kryptonite, like I said. So that's not an easy round at all, the fourth round. If he gets through that, then he can go to the quarterfinals, and he'll most likely play Alexander Zverev, who he just beat in a very tight match at the ATP Cup. 3-set match, came down to it. They both got a little tight at the end. Zverev has the type of game that I think if he's playing well can really hurt Djokovic. Djokovic is obviously the type of guy who can get inside Zverev's head and make him choke, even though Zverev honestly doesn't need a lot of help choking a lot of the time. To be honest, sorry, Alex, but prove me wrong. I love it. I always say, prove me wrong. So then Djokovic, if he gets through that, goes into the semifinals where he'll most likely play Dominic Thiem. So Thiem is on the side of Djokovic this year, which, sometimes it's who's the third player going to be on the top or the bottom with the first or the second ranked player. And this year, I don't really think it matters because Medvedev is ranked 4th, and I think Medvedev is honestly might be more dangerous than Thiem at this tournament. Anyways, so Djokovic could play Thiem in the semifinals, and obviously Medvedev, Nadal in the final. So I'd say that's a pretty tough draw for Djokovic. He's going to have to be on his game basically every single round. So is he still the favorite to win? Yes. He's won this thing 8 times. It would be ridiculous to say otherwise. But it's not going to be as easy this year, I don't think, as say it was last year. Not saying that it was easy, but until the final, I don't think Djokovic played too many guys where he actually really could have lost. And I think he could potentially lose in the 4th quarterfinal or semifinal in this tournament. He's playing guys that are very hot, very good. I think Raonic is playing the best tennis of his career. Obviously backing Djokovic in each of these matches, but it's going to be interesting. Now let's look at Nadal, who's on the bottom half of the draw, obviously, number 2. Nadal hasn't played yet in the ATP Cup. He said he's having lower back complications. Will that play a factor in this year's Australian Open? You never really know. You never know with the injuries, especially at this point in his career. But him not playing at the ATP Cup, I could see that helping him down the road here. He's got Laszlo Djere in the first round from Serbia, Michael Moe in the second round, Dan Evans in the third round. Nadal could play either Fognini or De Minaur in the fourth round. And then in the quarterfinals, it gets real dangerous, I think. He could play Berrettini or Tsitsipas. Now, watching both these guys in the ATP Cup, Berrettini is an absolute savage. He's huge. He's hitting the ball so hard, it's hard to believe. And he destroyed Dominic Thiem. He looked amazing. So Berrettini and Tsitsipas are both playing great, and they're guys who have weapons who could hurt Nadal, especially on a surface like this. Then if Nadal gets through that in the semifinals, he'll play Medvedev, who I couldn't think of a worse player to play in the semifinals than Medvedev, honestly, other than like Djokovic. But Medvedev, seriously dangerous in this year's tournament. So I think Nadal's got not as tough of a draw as Djokovic, but it's still very potent, obviously. And by the time he gets to, honestly, the 4th round, quarterfinals, semifinals are going to be tough if it works out. But, you never know. All these young guys could lose in the first round, and you really never know here. But that does not take away from the fact of this is the most likely route for them to go. Next, we got Dominic Thiem. Dominic Thiem is trying to win his second major. He stated it already as a goal of his to win a major. His second major this year for sure. His French Open is his number 1. But last year he made it to the final of the Australian Open, had a clear lead against Djokovic and let it go. So he's going to want to have some revenge this year. In the first round, Dominic Thiem is playing Mikhail Kushkin, and then he could play Dominic Kepfer. And then in the third round, Hugo Humbert, our guy. And then in the 4th round, he could play either Dimitrov or Pablo Carreno Busta. So all these guys so far, he should win. He should solidly win if he's playing his best tennis. Like say he was playing U.S. Open style tennis, like he played at the U.S. Open. Then he could play either Shapo or Diego Schwartzman in the quarterfinals. Again, he should win both those matches if he's playing his game his best way. And then he could play Djokovic in the semifinals. So honestly, it's not as tough of a draw. I would say it's a kind draw for Thiem. He's got to play good. He can't throw in any of these performances like he played against Berrettini. He's got to step up, but I have faith that he will because, like I've said many times before, even on hard court now, on any given day, he can have the highest level possible on the tour. I honestly believe that. The level that he can get to is as high right now I honestly think, as anybody else. Now, that might seem disrespectful to you. Argue me in the comment section. But let me know. Because Thiem, he's got a gettable draw, a gettable quarter. And then we got old Medved, Daniil Medvedev. His first match is actually an absolute doozy against Canadian Vasek Pospisil. But if he gets through that, his second round shouldn't have any problems there. And then he could play Krajinovic in the third round. Krajinovic is tough, but Medvedev is tougher. So I expect him to get through there. And then Medvedev could play either Goffin or Coric. So tough round, but he should get through there again. And I think once he picks up momentum on this hard court, I expect him to be very good. Then Medvedev could play Rublev in the quarterfinals, his compatriot. He's kind of got Rublev's number, though, and I expect him to come through that one, even though Rublev is my guy, playing amazingly well. He's also on top court, by the way. If you want to learn how to hit forehands like Rublev, go check out top court, link below. Medvedev is going to get through that, I think, if they played. So then in semifinals, Medvedev versus Nadal. Medvedev versus Nadal. Last time they played, it was the 2019 U.S. Open final. Medvedev almost came back from 2 sets down to win that. Made it very interesting. 2 years later, who's improved more in their tennis, Nadal or Medvedev? You got to say Medvedev. So this is going to be if this match ends up happening, this will be a huge match for the Australian Open. Huge match for Nadal and Medvedev if it can get there. Again, remember, guys, Nadal, I haven't mentioned this yet, but this is the first time he's playing in a tournament where he has the opportunity to surpass Federer's record for most slams. Well, now he shares it with Federer. So he has the first chance to become the clear leader. And then heading into the French Open, obviously another massive chance to add on to that. So he's chasing history now. We'll see how he responds to that in this tournament. This is his least successful major. Doesn't mean it's not successful, though. He's been in multiple finals. He's won it. He's obviously dangerous, but we're going to see. So those are the draws. Looking very good. I think Djokovic honestly has the toughest draw, but they're all tough. There's no easy draws in majors, even though I harp on them sometimes. There really is no easy draws. If you're going to win this a major, you deserve to, because you're playing the best players in the world 7 matches, which is crazy. So let's look at what the potential quarterfinals could be. On the top, it would be Djokovic versus Zverev, number 1 versus number 6. Dangerous for Djokovic. Zverev is playing great. They just had a tough match. Like I said, that would be a super juicy match. The next match would be Dominic Thiem versus Diego Schwartzman. They're best friends. And Diego Schwartzman knocked him out of the French Open. But that kind of is complicated because Thiem was super tired from the U.S. Open still. Got ragdolled in the match before. So I think Thiem would have the advantage there, especially on a hard court for sure. And then the next one would be Rublev-Medvedev on the bottom half. Super juicy, like the Battle of the Russians, who are also, in my opinion, the number 1 team in the ATP Cup. That's still yet to be decided. And then on the bottom, we got Tsitsipas versus Nadal. Super dangerous for Nadal as well, because I think Tsitsipas has the game right now to beat Nadal, but we're going to have to see. So the quarterfinals, this quarterfinal, if that were to happen, that would be amazing, because to me, it's a total look at the future of tennis. The guys who, when Djokovic and Nadal and Federer are gone, the guys who are going to be playing and I think dominating are going to be Thiem, Rublev, Medvedev, Tsitsipas, Zverev, plus guys like Sinner, Shapovalov, hopefully, Felix, anybody else that I missed, Carlos Alcaraz, that super young Spanish guy who is playing, don't know where he's playing. But anyways, this is a look, I think, into the future of tennis, and it's amazing. I think it's in very good hands. I think it's personally in very good hands. So dark horses. Who are some dark horses? I think Matteo Berrettini is a dark horse. Like I said, he's a stallion. He's playing absolutely massive. On these courts, he could be super dangerous. Honestly, I'm putting Milos Raonic in there as a dark horse because he's my guy. He's moving the best he's ever moved. And he's got a puncher's chance against anyone, I think. And I think he'd love a rematch against Djokovic. He lost in doubles to Serbia. He beat, obviously, Lajovic, but he's playing good. And I think on any day, he can be super dangerous to anyone. But who's really here to win this? I think there's 4 guys who have an absolute chance. So it's Djokovic, obviously Nadal, obviously Thiem, and Medvedev, I think are easily the 4 favorites. I think Djokovic is the number 1 favorite. And then I think, honestly, Medvedev, Thiem, and Nadal are like very close. I can't really pick who's you got to put Nadal just because he's won 20 slams. But at this point in his career, Medvedev and Thiem Thiem's already done it. He's got to slam finals. He's won it. Medvedev isn't afraid of anyone. He'll beat you and not even celebrate. It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. This guy's he's got no respect. He will come for you. So I think those 4 guys are the most dangerous. And then Tsitsipas and Zverev and Rublev even have a puncher's chance, like I said about those other guys. But those are the guys who are really here to win. So anyways, the Australian Open is going to get rolling. We got some juicy first round matches here. We got Kei Nishikori versus Pablo Carreño Busta. Actually, I wouldn't want to watch that. That's honestly super sleepy. But then we got Denis Shapovalov versus Jannik Sinner. Tough first round for Shapo. Jannik Sinner is the man. He's on the come up. He's huge. Elias Ymer versus Diego Schwartzman. I like Elias a lot. That should be a good first round. Vasek Pospisil. Anything is Pospisil versus Daniil Medvedev. Like I said, huge first round match. And then we got Kevin Anderson versus Matteo Berrettini. Hate to see Kevin Anderson play Matteo first because that's not going to be fun. And anyone could win that. So those are some of the best first round matches. But it's all going to be great because the Australian Open is amazing. They're going to have fans there. I think they're doing automatic line calling in the Australian Open. First time ever. So anyways, this has been a super in-depth draw breakdown. Who's your favorite to win? Who do you think's got the toughest draw? What are who could really win this? I gave my 4. Nadal, Djokovic, Nadal, Thiem, Medvedev. Who else could possibly win this? I think it really comes down to those 4. Maybe I'll throw a poll out there. But thank you guys for watching the slice. This has been the Australian Open preview, draw breakdown. I can't wait for it to start, and I can't wait to make another video for you guys. Check out all the links below. Thank you guys for the support. Top Court is amazing. We'll see you over there on that platform. We'll see you again when the Australian Open gets rolling. Before you head out, folks, I know you're a tennis fan because you're watching this. You might go play some tennis, but before you do, check out courtsidesports.com for brand new equipment like the Addy Zero Ubersonic, the Yonex Polytour Rev, and the brand new Radical, the brand new Yonex V-Core. You can get 10% off all these things just by using our code at our friends Courtside Sports.